Vamos a reaccionar a esto grabándolo, por si tengo que subir a YouTube instantáneo, porque puede ser una locura esto.
I think in terms of mechanics, what's interesting also on how we're going to introduce this to players is that we'll be alternating between the two maps. So every 2 weeks we'll switch. We'll do this new Brimstone map for 2 weeks, then the original map, and just sort of alternate every 2 weeks.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how that plays out too.
Yeah.
¿Estaban hablando de derrotar los mapas de arenas?
Welcome to Forged in Aeternum, where we talk about all things New World. I'm joined today by Patrick, our season's design lead, and Dan, our social PO. Today, we're going to talk about a topic that many of you care deeply about, PvP. What are we doing for PvP and when's it coming? Well, I've got great news. There are 4 big things coming for our PvP fans in Season 2.
Yeah.
Let's talk through them, and let's start with perhaps the biggest one, Crossworld OPR. Dan, tell me a little bit about what this means and what it'll mean for players.
Less waiting time to get into OPR. So we're connecting all of our worlds within a region.
Vale, eso ya lo sabíamos, el crossplay.
And that means that you just hit a button and you'll be playing with a larger population. And along with that, the leaderboards for OPR are going to be regional as well.
That's cool. So no difference in mechanics. It's the same thing. Just go to modes, hit play, and I'm in.
Yep, exactly.
Cool. And regional leaderboards just for the region?
Yeah, well...
Yeah, not worldwide or anything.
No, not exactly. Yeah, they're just region-based.
This is super cool. And the rewards will be the same for the leaderboards?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So while we're allowing people to get into matches quicker with this great new feature, we're also going to make some changes to OPR, some adjustments to make it play a little better, a little maybe more strategic. Can you talk us through those changes, Patrick?
Yes, there's a number of good changes coming to Outpost Rush with Season 2. First off is scoring changes. So we're gonna...
Lo de la puntuación, que estar en los puntos va a dar más puntos, que el tanquear va a ser un nuevo tipo de puntuación, la barra de la baronesa, que el portal corrupto ahora ya no va a ser de rellenar, sino que vas a tener que cargarte a las oleadas de enemigos y te van a dar al final el bruto. Ya está, de porras es eso.
Another change we're making is the Baroness encounter. We are putting up walls, so you can no longer just snipe her from 100 meters away and last second kill steal her. If you want to get that kill now, you have to be in the area, so high risk, high reward there. Another great change is we're reinforcing the role of siege weaponry and walls. So the siege weaponry is going to deal more damage to players, and
las
the
armas de
walls are
asedio
going to take less damage from ranged weapons. So you can't sit back with your bow now and just shoot it down. Got to get up close and personal to be effective. And then the last big change that I'm really excited about is the corrupted portal. So we're kind of completely reworking that mechanic. So instead of showing up and depositing Azoth to get your token, now every few minutes the portal will activate and you have to go there and clear out all the corrupted enemies to claim the portal.
Es que básicamente va a ser como otro objetivo que pelear como la baronesa. Literalmente va a ser otro objetivo más que pelear. Entonces, al final se convierte en un poco pelea de objetivos como en el LoL, ya sea el varón, el dragón, el heraldo. Es un poco eso, yo creo, lo que quieren acabar haciendo y me mola un poquito.
The tanks of the group, I know sometimes you play sword and board, can now, you know, as they're helping absorb damage for the rest of their team, get some points for that.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
A third big change is a brand new arena map.
Ya lo hemos visto.
Tell us a little bit about that one.
Yeah,
Sin
this
más.
is one I'm really excited for. I think we learned a lot of great lessons with arena map number 1, and once we launch Brimstone,
creo que más que meter un nuevo mapa de arena, deberían de haber metido 1 versus 1, 2 versus 2 y 5 versus 5. Más que meter otro mapa.
This is a multi-level arena, so there's different sides of it. You can kite players around the middle. It's going to really change gameplay, and I'm really excited to see how different weapons perform on it.
Yeah, I think it's radically different layout, right? And I think it will, hopefully, our goal is to have almost different strategies.
Lo único que doy por hecho que por el número tan bajo de players que hay en el juego, pues no es viable porque es que se dividirían demasiado las colas. Entonces no renta, porque no encontrarías tan rápido. Supongo.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how that plays out too.
Yeah. And then a fourth change. So this all sounds great, but we want rewards also, Dan. So tell us, has there been any changes to the PvP reward track?
There've been a couple, yeah. Directionally, the goal is to like get you better rewards earlier on in the track. So Gypsum shards and BIS items all come earlier in the track, and just in general, it's meant to allow you as PvP player to just do PvP to get those awesome rewards.
Yeah, I think that's super important, right? Like PvP.
Pregunta, o sea, Amazon, megacorporación, ¿por qué tenéis a este señor que literalmente no quiere estar ahí? O sea, tú imagínate estar en un de esto y estar así. Así, en plan, sí, bueno, pues sí, pues de la cosa guay, sí. La verdad es que está bien, sí, está bien. Loco, un poquito de espabile, ¿no? Un poquito de espabile, hermano, que estás haciendo un vídeo para el canal de YouTube oficial de New World, loco. O sea, que es el puto juego más importante de Amazon Games. Quiero decir, ¿por qué te han metido a ti? ¿Por qué? ¿Qué importancia tiene este señor? Que pongan a cualquier otro, da igual, aunque él no sea el que lo haga el papel de este señor en el equipo de desarrollo, da igual. No puedes poner la cara del juego a este tío. No puedes poner a este tío que literalmente no está por la labor de hacer buen contenido, tío. No puedes hacer eso, hermano. ¿Qué es esto, tío? Esto para el vídeo lo cortaré, seguro. Que tengo que decirlo, tío, me da rabia, loco.
You won't have to do as much other stuff to gear up, which I think is great.
It's a lot more efficient, like playing through this internally. I'm seeing a lot more oranges on the track, and it's pretty exciting for me.
Pero es que dicen que es para los primeros niveles del seguimiento PvP. Me parece un poco F eso.
Changes for season 2, but that's not the end of PvP, right? Like, obviously, it's just the beginning. There's also something pretty big coming in season 3. We've talked a little bit about it, but tell us a little more, Dan.
Ojo, temporada 3.
We've got Influence V2 coming out, which
eso es importante.
Basically, it's big. We'll tell you a lot more about it a little later on, but for now, the main thing is that influence races will be kind of like more directed, more scheduled.
Ojo.
So much higher density in that influence race to earn the war deck in a territory, and we're adding control point towers to each territory to fight over.
Eso ya lo dijeron y eso tiene muy buena pinta.
That everybody's kind of been wanting for a while. We've talked about it on this before.
Eso está muy guay.
The goal for those is kind of similar to that new arena map. You know, bring in some more like leveled play, some verticality, some obstacles that can kind of challenge you to come up with a better strategy.
Vale, o sea, las torres de control van a estar guays, ¿no? O sea, va a ser como un fuerte pequeñito, ¿no?
Yeah, I love the feel of it, like how I've described it. It almost feels like an open world mode, right? Because there's this timed energy, there's a concentrated density of people. You go here, there's objectives. I think it's a really nice blend between the open world feel of the game and sort of like an instance mode like OPR.
Exactly. Yeah. Definitely the change I'm looking forward
to.
I'd say open world PvP is my favorite thing in our game, and the organic feel of it is so great, and these towers just really provide it. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, you've been pushing for this for a long time.
I have.
Awesome. Hey, well, thanks everyone for joining us today and sort of a dive into PvP. Please continue to like and subscribe if you like these shows. And we have a community question for you. We're interested in what you think.
Ojo. Pero no entiendo. Elite Trial. Ya está, no, nada. Supongo que el siguiente Fortune Aeternum será acerca del Elite Trial. Pero, loco. Me has dejado con la miel en los labios. No me puedes empezar a hablar de las torres de influencia, no sé qué, mundo abierto, más, como ha dicho, cronometradas, ¿no? Como que hay que organizar, como que va a ser un evento que vas a tener que programar o algo así. Como si fuera una guerra, ¿no? Que va a tener su tiempo límite. Loco, eso está muy guay, tiene muy buena pinta, pero... Es que si no me dejan, no me explican más cosas. A ver, que entiendo que esto es para que tú digas, uy, qué ganas tengo de ver lo siguiente, pero... Hermano, no me dejes así. Bueno, pues nada. Habrá que esperar a ver el siguiente Fortune Aeternum. Me cago en la madre que los parió. Happens.